Welcome to Ask the Lawyer International Edition with attorney Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates in New York. We hope you enjoy the show, which features immigration visitors visa, starting and doing business in New York, entertainment and business visas, religious visas, and much more. Whether you are outside the U.S. or have family in New York, the number to call, share, and keep is 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Please schedule a consultation with us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. This is Ask the Lawyer International Edition. You have questions? We've got the answers.
Welcome to Ask the Lawyer, your essential guide to navigating the complexities of the legal world with your hosts, Mr. Brian Figueroa and me, Jamaican national Ashley Dawkins. Mr. Figueroa brings over a quarter-century worth of seasoned legal expertise, guiding you through the intricate paths of law. Today, we delve into the heart of immigration, a topic that touches many lives and families. Our focus ranges today from the intertwining of love, marriage, and the pursuit of a green card to the latest updates in immigration news and policy. We will explore the nuances of family petitions and unravel the various pathways to obtaining a visa, including the unique chef visa. Our discussion will also shed light on the challenges faced by hotel workers in America under H-1B visas, often caught in a web of exploitation. And in a special segment, we have the honor of hosting Dr. Julius Garvey, son of the Venerable Marcus Garvey, for an enthralling interview on justice for Garvey. Stay tuned as we embark on this enlightening journey through the landscape of law and justice on Ask the Lawyer. You have questions, we have the answers.
Good day, good day, good day. My name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers, and hey, is the U.S. government a love government? Because if you come to this country, you overstay your time. Whether you come with inspection or without inspection, that seems to be the only alternative for you to get a green card. So you came here from Jamaica, you came here from Trinidad, you came here from Barbados. You come here on a visitor's visa. You overstay your time. You came here on a student visa. You overstayed your time. What is your alternatives? Well, the fastest part most people take is, and the only part is, marriage to a U.S. citizen. Not a green card holder. It has to be a U.S. citizen. Some people marry a green card holder and then the guy can't get his citizenship because he have too much arrest. That's the risk. You have to be married to a U.S. citizen. If you get married to a green card holder and that person never becomes a citizen, you'll have to get a provisional waiver. Yes. So, you're married to a U.S. citizen, you put in the applications and you get fingerprinting done, you get a work permit, you get a social, then you have your interview for the green card. How long will it take? Several months, maybe a couple of years. Immigration goes at their own pace. Once you apply for a green card through a U.S. spouse or green card holder, and we're talking about a U.S. spouse, we said a provisional waiver for the green card holder, what is the interview like? Well, at that interview, you have to prove that when you got married, it was a bona fide marriage. And what does that mean? You're going to have to show documents to prove that you live together with your spouse. Joint bank accounts, a joint lease, utility bills like gas, electricity, telephone, cable, some bills in one spouse's name, the other bills in the other spouse's name. Pictures of you all at the wedding. Who's the best man? Who's the best woman? Pictures during the year for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. Pictures. You have to do a nice album to show, pictures maybe with the stepchildren, pictures with the in-laws. Those are the things that immigration expect. So your wife have to do a nice album, because I know them guys ain't doing no album. So the wife doing a nice album to show these relationships. How about your Facebook? Well, you can't have a Facebook and you're married and your wife have another man on Facebook or the husband have another woman on Facebook. Hey, they look at your social media. So you have to be careful, very careful, because, I mean, if you're getting a horn, a bun, that's something else. Hey, maybe you need to do an abused spouse petition if you're getting a horn or a bun. All right, because sometimes people get fed up with the spouse quickly. Not only the guy cheating, the woman cheating too. So it's equal. This is what you call this? Woman's time, liberation, whatever. So it means just like how a woman wants to be treated fairly on the job, and she should be, the woman giving you a horn just like you could give a horn. Okay, brothers? So you have to prove again it's a bona fide marriage. So you have to have documentations. If you have the lease, the utility bills, pictures to show that you all live together. Documents. And at the interview, we have obviously the original there and the copies there. We will compile all of those documents in the office. You have to do joint tax returns. Married filing jointly or married filing separately, not single or head of household. People come in and they say, no, boy, she do the return before me because she wanted the refund. She had bills to pay. Sometimes they say the guy do his taxes already, but you have to amend your tax returns. Because if you file single or head of household, it means that you're no longer with your spouse. So you're telling immigration, because you file a single or head of household, you don't live with your wife, that the marriage is not bona fide. Are you a dummy? So people go to people who prepare tax and they do your immigration forms and stuff. That's going to get you into trouble. We always get people coming to the office, the tax man charge me this to fill out the forms. Well, the tax man can give you legal advice. The notary cannot give you legal advice. And immigration law is dynamic. What does that mean? It keeps changing all the time. The most important thing that you have to do is to prove that this is a bona fide marriage. And what it means, filing your taxes properly, having all those documents that a relationship have. They look at your, obviously, social media. You have to be careful. If you're married for less than 2 years, you get your interview, you will get a temporary green card, not a permanent green card. So people who, when they get their interview, are married for more than 2 years, get a permanent green card. Those who go to the interview before the 2-year period get a temporary green, and after the permanent green card. So those who get a temporary green card, you're going to have to go through this whole process again to remove the condition on your green card. However, if you're removing the condition on your green card, one of the issues is if you have a bad marriage, either abuse or obviously some sort of separation, then you could do a divorce and show documents during that relationship that you have acquired after your first interview. So it's a 2-step process, not a 1-step process. Your wife can't go missing. Your husband can't go missing. So you have to consult with the attorney what type of divorce that you have to do. What we have sometimes in relationships, people are abusive. Most times it's the guys abusing the woman. So some women, they go into a marriage, bona fide marriage, the husband is abusive. Every time he say jump, you have to ask him how high. You have to cook his food every day. You have to give him a bath. A sponge bath, a real bath, I don't know. You understand? So it becomes taxing on the relationship since, women are liberated. They don't give men a bath no more. They don't, when he say he wants sex, he had to give the man sex all the time. Sometimes in a bad mood, you can't even have a headache during the relationship. So marriages break down. The spouse could become abusive, and you need to call the office immediately. Why? Because you may be able to file a self-petition as an abused spouse. My name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. Our number is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. 855. Give us a call for a free over-the-phone legal consultation. So yes, we are talking about the U.S. government is a love government. What does that mean? Once you come here and you overstay your time, only marriage is your option. There are other exceptions to the rule. We handle that through our consultations. But generally, marriage is the only option that you have. And some marriages don't work, then you have to file an abuse petition if your spouse is abusive. There's no such things as abandonment. You know, people come to the office, they say, Mr. Figueroa, I come home last night and my wife in there, the whole place, she take all she shoes, she dresses. The house have a lot of room now, but I know where this lady gone. She just decide she gone. Or similarly, the husband disappear. And they ask about whether or not you could get a green card through abandonment. No. You get a green card through, obviously, the marriage, both spouses cooperating, or if the spouse is abusive. In recent times, with the Louison case, in the gentleman who was arrested by the federal government, what he did was file thousands of fraudulent applications claiming that women were abused. And this gentleman had people with past marriages, people who ain't married, people with children under 21, all claiming that these people were abused. These people, for the most part, a lot of them were denied. Some of them traveled and now cannot obviously renew their work permit, but a lot of these people are being placed in deportation. And what is the problem here? Well, the problem here is you are responsible for the fraud, not the notary, not some man who looked like a lawyer and sung like a lawyer. All you have to do is go to New York State Licensing Department and you could check whether that notary, that tax person, or Louison, in this case, if they have a law license. It is very important that you hire an attorney who could legally practice here in New York State. What you should also do is ask the attorney, are you a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association? That's a professional organization that immigration attorneys work with, be members of, and they have special training. They get alerts as to the changes in the laws. I've been a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association since 1997. So you do the math. Yes. Not only that, when you hire a lawyer, when you go to his office wouldn't just suddenly close down or you can't find the lawyer or whatever. With a notary and those people doing fraud, you will not find them. And you cannot blame them. You have to file, if it's an attorney not doing the work, you have to file a grievance. If it's one of these corner stores, you should go to your local district attorney's office, and also you should talk to people at the Attorney General's office. That's Tish James, the New York State Attorney General. You should also consult with an attorney before meeting with these people so that the attorneys could do some sort of analysis. How we do our analysis is by doing a Freedom of Information Act request to get a copy of all files that went to immigration on your behalf. Some people are very surprised, and they are surprised because what they do, they sign blank forms. You cannot sign forms in blank. You are responsible for all information on the form. And this is what a lot of the people who were defrauded by Louison said, that they signed blank forms. So my people, you don't have to be, you could be desperate, but you shouldn't be stupid. Your mother and your father bring about good children. And a lot of you all have good educations to be smarter than that. Again, my name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. Our number for free legal consultation is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. You could also go to our website, Ask the Lawyer at www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. It doesn't matter which state you are in. It doesn't matter. This is federal law, and we could work with you in any state in the United States of America. Again, the U.S. government, I love government. Why? The only option is marriage to a U.S. citizen. So you have to be careful. You have to understand your rights. When we represent our clients, we represent the beneficiary. We're not representing the petitioner, because the beneficiary is the one who has to get the green card, not the petitioner. So there are times, obviously, that the petitioner may not want to cooperate with the spouse, and you have to be very careful. My name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. When you get married, any children 17 years or younger, you could apply to get a green card for them. Yes. So you have children, they are 17 years or younger. As long as you apply for their green card before their 21st birthday, they could get a green card within the same period for you, whether they're here in the U.S. with you or they're outside of the United States. If your children are over 18 or more, then when you get the green card, you could then petition for your children. So please understand the law. So did you come here with inspection, without inspection? Without inspection, we're going to get you a provisional waiver. We have to show hardships on your citizen spouse, green card spouse, and then you have to travel to your home country to get that green card. Through that provisional waiver, what we do is get an approval that you're no longer subject to the 3-year or 10-year bar. However, if you have any criminal records, that's going to be a problem. If you committed fraud on your visa applications to come to the United States, that's a problem. When you come to the office, please do not lie. We have a long questionnaire. We ask you questions, and we are asking those questions to determine whether or not the path to legalization for you could involve that provisional waiver. So be very careful. Again, any children 17 years or younger, your spouse could petition for them and for those children, your U.S. citizen spouse. The provisional waiver is just for you. If the child is overseas, the person that has a green card could also petition for those children. You could only petition for your brother or your sister when you're a U.S. citizen. If you petition for your mother or your father, you have to be a U.S. citizen also. If your parents came to this country without inspection, there's no provisional waiver for a child petitioning for the parent. Yes. So that's a big issue. But we may seek to see if there's any other hardships on any other related relative. Again, this is the law firm of Figueroa and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. If you are one of those students here in the United States, a F1 student, you did your OPT, you're looking to get your H-1B visa so that you could get a work permit for 3 years, and then it could be renewed for another 3 years, and then hopefully the company petition for you for your green card. A lot of times, obviously, we know there's a quota. If you are denied that quota, then what you need to consider, can I immigrate to another country? So if you would like to work in Canada, we could also help you if you are here legally on a student visa attending one of those colleges or universities. And it doesn't matter what state you are in. You obviously could go to our website, Ask the Lawyer, www.askthelawyer.us, and set up either a telephone or an in-person consultation in our office. What is our number for Ask the Lawyer? 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Our website, Ask the Lawyer, is www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. Are you undocumented? We could put you on the path to legalization. What we are also doing is screening people to see whether or not they could legalize through Biden's 2021 proposal for legalization. The problem with Biden's proposal is that he controls the Congress. He does not control the Senate. The Senate, Biden needs 60 votes. How many votes do they have? 50 plus 1, which is the vice president, which means that he's looking for 9 votes to pass comprehensive immigration reform. And you know how them Republicans are. I don't know what Biden gonna give them that will encourage them to sign on to comprehensive immigration reform, but this is a big battle. However, you should be prepared. So if you want to consult on our comprehensive immigration reform initiative, we have special materials in the office to share with you. We also will do an evaluation as to obviously people who may have done applications before or people with criminal records. So please, you could also give us a call on that issue, the 2021 Biden immigration reform. What is our number? 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Our website, Ask the Lawyer, www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. For those of you who want more information on the Louison fraud, the gentleman is now deceased, you could Google that story and it will come up in our Caribbean American Weekly, Workers' World Today, and we also did it in the Amsterdam News. So you could get more information about that gentleman's problems, how he defrauded people on Lenox Road, right opposite to Congresswoman Yvette Clarke's office. So for several years, under the Congresswoman's nose, he's right there in the community. Ali Louison committed fraud, a gentleman from Grenada.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.
The United States is consistently ranked among the best internationally for its competitiveness. Are you planning to start a new business or branch of your business in New York? Attend our Chamber Coalition's 5-week webinar series, Small Business Sense Bootcamp. We provide education and business preparation for small business owners and startups. Learn the basics of business planning, how to finance your business, business credit, marketing, and social media strategies, small business solutions, legal, tax, accounting, banking, and insurance, and how to do business within New York City, New York State, and corporations. Register at startupsbootcamp.eventbrite.com.
Remember, the lawyer you hire does make a difference. Immigration law is very complex and always changing. Hiring an experienced lawyer or law firm can help minimize mistakes and improve your chance of success. In many immigration situations, you do not want to risk representing yourself or applying without the advice of an experienced immigration professional, usually an attorney that's a member of AILA, the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Failing to work with an immigration lawyer can lead to wasted money, wasted time, and frustration, and also loss of benefits. So take advantage. Call right now, 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845, or visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. This is Ask the Lawyer. You have questions. We've got the answers.
Welcome to America, How to Get a Green Card, an Ask the Lawyer International Edition segment with attorney Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates in New York. Are you planning to migrate to the U.S.? Do you have family in the U.S.? In this segment, learn about the consequences of entering the U.S. with or without inspection, unlawful presence, family, faith-based, and fiancé petitions, the impact of fraudulent visas when applying for a green card, and more. Please schedule a consultation with us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. This is Ask the Lawyer, International Edition. You have questions, we've got the answers.
This is Ask the Lawyer. You have questions, we've got the answers. The number to call, the number to share, and the number to keep is 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Or you can visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. How to get a green card. Immigration to the U.S. as a chef. Food is one of the things that brings us together. And every year, thousands of cooks and chefs from around the world come to America to expand their culinary knowledge and settle into a new home. The United States is known as the melting pot of the world, mixing endless ethnicities, nationalities, and culture into the food industry. There is a huge opportunity for culinary chefs and cooks in America. So, what is the chef visa to the United States? It's important for you, the petitioner, to understand that there's a difference between a cook and a chef. The Department of Labor accurately describes these positions and distinguishes between them. In general, chefs have more managerial responsibilities than the cooks who primarily prepare food. The first visa is the E-2 visa. Chefs holding managerial or specialist positions may be issued E-2 visas to work for a qualified E-2 enterprise. The H-1B visa. In the past, the USCIS has held that chefs were not professionals or specialists. However, practice shows chefs employed by large hotels and prestigious restaurants, such as Michelin star restaurants, may be granted H-1B visas. Usually, the foreign national must be primarily engaged in management duties as opposed to working in front of a stove. The H-2B visa. Chefs may qualify for temporary positions during a busy season. For example, the employer is a ski resort and the position is for the winter season. Once the employer proves the position is temporary or seasonal, the employer will be barred from sponsoring the foreign national for a permanent labor certification for that position. The J-1 visa. A young cook seeking exposure to how a restaurant operates in the U.S. may obtain a J-1 industrial trainee visa for up to 8 months. Many organizations have J-1 programs specifically credited for training in the culinary arts. The L-1 visa. Chefs with management responsibilities employed by multinational companies should be eligible for L-1 visas. It is also possible that a specialized knowledge chef or cook could obtain an L-1 visa. The O-1 visa. O-1 visas are available for chefs of extraordinary ability. Extensive evidence is required to show that the chef is a culinary artist of distinction who is renowned, leading, or well-known in the field. Immigrants are extremely crucial to the food industry in the U.S., and many famous immigrant chefs have changed food in America. One such immigrant is Wolfgang Puck from Austria. Wolfgang moved to America when he was 24 years old. He wound up in Los Angeles working in several restaurants, learning many techniques that would shape the LA food scene. He turned his talents into many restaurants, box meals, schools, books, kitchen accessories, and every facet of a full-on culinary empire that you can think of. Are you the next Wolfgang Puck? If you would like to find out how you can apply for a work visa as a chef in the United States, contact us right now. Ask the Lawyer, 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845, or visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us.
The United States is consistently ranked among the best internationally for its competitiveness. Are you planning to start a new business or branch of your business in New York? Attend our Chamber Coalition's 5-week webinar series, Small Business Sense Bootcamp. We provide education and business preparation for small business owners and startups. Learn the basics of business planning, how to finance your business, business credit, marketing, and social media strategies, small business solutions, legal, tax, accounting, banking, and insurance, and how to do business within New York City, New York State, and corporations. Register at startupsbootcamp.eventbrite.com.
Are you interested in investing in real property, a home, or investment property in New York or other states? Then Equity Smart Realty Inc. can work with you. From potential returns to portfolio diversification, buying international property comes with its perks, but it's also a complex process, and there are tax matters to consider. Equity Smart Realty Inc. can help you purchase real estate in New York. We have the knowledge you need to simplify the process. Ready to discuss your options? Schedule a consultation on this matter, or start a business, or a branch of your business at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us, or call 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845.
Are you looking for a side hustle as an independent contractor? Are you looking to make extra cash and business opportunities? We have opportunities for graduates from our online Chambers Paralegal program to work with lawyers and other legal professionals in New York State or persons with similar qualifications. We also have opportunities for other chamber businesses in graphic arts and design, creating and updating websites in WordPress, the most popular platform, and other platforms, social media experts in the various platforms, and database experts. There is also a high demand for voiceovers, audio, and video podcast editing in the marketing field, journalists, and other professionals in the services industry who can work in the virtual world for U.S. businesses. Send your resume and a cover letter explaining why you or your business is the right fit for these partnerships to info@myiqinc.com. That's info@myiqinc.com. You are listening to Ask the Lawyer International Edition. You have questions? We've got the answers. Schedule an appointment now at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us.
Good day, good day, good day. My name is Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. And as we celebrate in 2023 the 25th anniversary of our publication, The Immigrant's Journal, I am nostalgic. I am looking at 25 years of working for our humble community of immigrants. We are from all corners of the globe. We are different shades scattered globally. And basically, we all have the same goal when we come to America. We want to make our lives better. We want to earn more income so that we could help ourselves and the families that we left behind in those different corners of the globe. We are black, we are Latino. We have different languages. But we come all here for the same purpose. Now, the welcome to America, it varies. What does welcome to America mean, and who are welcome to America, and what is our plight here? How are we treated? And if we look at the different type of workers that we contribute to America, we need to understand what those workers, experiences are. One of the areas that we work in is as hotel workers, whether it be in the north, the south, the east, the west. We clean hotel rooms. And cleaning hotel rooms is no easy task. They are dirty. People with more wealth stay in those rooms. In fact, the rooms that we clean, we may not even be able to afford to stay in those rooms, except obviously if we are cleaning it. A couple years ago, many Jamaicans that came to the South had a lawsuit against those hotels that were stealing their wages. Imagine that. You are a hotel worker from another country. You're here on the H-2B visa. Some of us, imagine, who came here without inspection, working undocumented in these hotels. So what they did was they gave us a number of rooms to clean within 8 hours. That wouldn't take 8 hours, but will take at least 16 hours. So half our wages were gone because, hey, it's not physically possible to clean these hotel rooms in 8 hours. It required 16 hours. And since the pandemic, where a lot of these workers were not working, obviously because hotels were shut down, a lot of these workers, black, Latino, Asian, they have been exploited. And what does exploitation mean? Again, given a task to do in 8 hours that requires 16 hours. Sometimes the equipment that we have is not modern, so it takes even longer. And these workers work very, very hard. And the money that they get goes back to their home countries. Jamaica, the number one foreign currency earner, remittances. Mexico, over $22 billion a year. And the list goes on, the countries that we come from, that we send money to. In fact, we have a saying that a lot of us have barrel children back home. What does that mean? Those children depend on the barrels that we stuff with food and clothing and other things for them to survive overseas. Sometimes entire villages in other country where our children live depend on the remittances for good economic activity. And the countries need that foreign currency to purchase goods, food, services from other countries. Because that's how you pay for goods and services in a country, using US dollars reserves. Again, my name is Brian Figueroa of Figueroa & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers. The number to call, the number to keep, the number to share is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. 8845. So for these workers, we need to obviously get them legalized. We need to have unions that could protect them. We need nonprofit organizations that will help them with basic services like learning how to speak English, whether they're from Haiti, which is close to us, or Latino countries. We have to think about those people who are thinking about them. And the Immigrants Journal, our main publication for a quarter century that the law firm of Figueroa and Associates support, has been that vehicle. Again, my name is Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions, we got answers.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions, we've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, Ask the Lawyer. You have questions, we've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.
The United States is consistently ranked among the best internationally for its competitiveness. Are you planning to start a new business or branch of your business in New York? Attend our Chamber Coalition's 5-week webinar series, Small Business Sense Bootcamp. We provide education and business preparation for small business owners and startups. Learn the basics of business planning, how to finance your business, business credit, marketing, and social media strategies, small business solutions, legal, tax, accounting, banking, and insurance, and how to do business within New York City, New York State, and corporations. Register at startupsbootcamp.eventbrite.com.
Welcome back. This is Ask the Lawyer, International Edition. You have questions, we've got the answers. Schedule an appointment now at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us.
This segment is brought to you courtesy of Caribbean American Weekly, a newspaper owned and operated by Caribbean Americans. Read the latest edition at www.cawnyc.com. That's www.cawnyc.com. To like us on Facebook, to advertise or to subscribe, visit us at www.cawnyc.com. That's www.cawnyc.com. To advertise with the Caribbean American Weekly publication for freelance assignments to distribute at your business place, visit us at www.cawnyc.com. That's www.cawnyc.com. Or to meet a marketing representative at our office, call 718-771-0988. That's 718-771-0988. Very warm welcome to everyone. We are joined by an extra special guest, Dr. Julius Garvey, who will share the latest news on Justice for Garvey effort seeking an exoneration for the Honorable Marcus Garvey by asking President Biden to grant a posthumous presidential pardon and clear his name. Welcome, sir. It's such an honor to have you here with us today.
It's my pleasure to be with you, and thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So tell us about your father, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and his historic role as a civil rights leader.
Well, basically my father came to this country in 1916. He had formed the Universal Negro Improvement Association, an African Communities League in 1914 in Jamaica, and essentially brought that here to the United States, where he created the new headquarters here in 1918. So this was basically a human rights organization, if you will, because it was both anti-colonial as well as civil rights here in the United States. But of course, it was aiming at the colonial powers, which, as we know, the Caribbean was basically under British and French colonialism. There was still some German colonialism at that point in time. Germany had not been defeated by World War II, etc. So, the European powers had carved up Africa in 1884, 1885. So the African world, both in terms of African and diaspora, was controlled by Euro-America, if you will. Organization that my father created was anti-colonial in its widest perspective. And within a country like the United States, of course, it was basically a civil rights organization, because this was a period when, there had been a large movement from the South, an agricultural economy, to the North, an industrial economy, because willing hands, if you will, were needed for the war effort of 1914, 1918, the mechanics of making rifles and bullets, etc., as well as uniforms and instruments of war. So there was that large movement, so a new era for African Americans. They came from the sharecropping of the South, which, as you know, there was no reconstruction in the South. So after slavery, the slaves got nothing. They were basically thrown out on their own, no boots, let alone bootstraps. So this was a milieu in which my father existed, and the organization was birthed. And it was a program then to unite all African people, because that was seen as our major strength. If we had unity, then we could combat, if you will, or at least resist the forces that had enslaved us, and that we had fought for our freedom. And we had to then manifest our liberation in terms of structuring systems of governance, systems of economic, systems of education, systems of healthcare for ourselves. This was not provided by the people who had enslaved us. They were still treating us inhumanely. So that was the basis of the organization, a foundation for the reconstruction of African civilization.
And thank you so much for that. And your father was way ahead of his time. And, some of the things that he's talking about way back then, it is still so applicable today.
You're 100%. Of course, we've had the George Floyd, public murder. And we have soon, you've seen so many others in terms of Arbery and many, many more. It's, how should I say, discouraging to see that there's been a lack of movement, shall we say, in terms of the picture here in the United States in the last 100 years. There have been cosmetic changes, but the systems have not really changed. We still see the higher mortality rate, whether it's infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, or that's the longevity of African people here in the United States. Certainly our longevity is less than the white population. We see that our wealth is 7 times less than the comparable white population. We see that 10 or 15% of the population, and we make up 40% of the prison population. So that we see that these systems are still oppressing us and not supporting us in terms of full citizenry and participation in economics and the welfare, shall we say, of the state. We're at the bottom of all of the statistics. So not enough has changed over 100 years.
Yes. So let's go to 1923, where he was wrongly convicted. What happened?
Basically, it was a political, trial, because Marcus Garvey, with his philosophy, Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad, and the fact that we can lift ourselves up by our own endeavor and by our own collective wealth and investment. He had attracted more than 6 million people at this point. And, he had a major convention in 1920 with 2,000 or more delegates from all over the African world coming to the United States of America, to Harlem, where the Liberty Hall was. That was the headquarters of the UNIA. He had a massive meeting at Madison Square Gardens that filled to capacity and overflowed into the street. There were parades, throughout down New York, etc., demonstrating the strength of the African community all over the world. Now, this was frightening to those people who had an ideology of white supremacy and wanted to continue the oppression of black people. So back in 1919, we have an internal memo from J. Edgar Hoover in what was to become the FBI, saying that there was an agitator, basically a black Moses up there in Harlem, and we have to agitate the people, and we have to find some way to get him. So J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI, they created the first black agents of the FBI, and they used them to infiltrate the Garvey movement. There was an attempt on his life in 1919, and then, false charges were brought against him in 1923 in terms of the major project that the UNI had, which was the Black Star Line, which was to unite people in Africa, in the Caribbean, and in the Americas in terms of trade, commerce, as well as movement. So this whole trial was an attempt to destabilize, if you will, the movement, to destroy the credibility of Marcus Garvey, and to destroy the major economic effort of the Black Star Line. And, basically, there was no evidence to prove any of the allegations. For example, it was supposed to be, the first indictment was supposed to be a conspiracy to defraud, and yet still there were no conspirators because the other 4 defendants were released. So they were clearly focusing on Marcus Garvey. There was no fraud proven. There was no way for Marcus Garvey to profit independently of the Black Star Line being a profitable enterprise. So he was no different from any other investor. So no fraud could have been perpetrated. So there was no fraud. There was no evidence that Marcus Garvey was misleading the public with information, because they had only an empty envelope with no content. And the witness who was supposed to have sent the envelope or the material in the envelope couldn't remember what was in it. And then it was proven that he didn't work for the UNIA, and he was coached to lie by the prosecutor. So we have a prosecutor, attorney who suborned the witness, and we had a witness who committed perjury. We had a presiding judge who should have recused himself because he told lies about the organizations that he was involved with, because this was an organizational struggle basically for the minds of African people here in the United States, and he belonged to a rival integrationist organization. So his rulings were prejudicial to a fair trial for Marcus Garvey, and there was an all-white jury, and again, no crime was committed. So this was totally a frame-up.
This is an excerpt. For the full interview, visit pppradio.nyc.
Get on the path to success. Join the fastest growing industry. Become a paralegal. The rise in popularity of online education programs means that it is easier than ever to find the right one for you. Deciding on the best paralegal online program requires research and time. By weeding out the level mills and substandard institutions, you can earn a quality certificate at an affordable price. When researching online paralegal programs, you will want to consider several factors. Cost and institution reputation are the most important. With this in mind, one program rises above the rest. The Chamber Coalition. which comprises the New American Chamber of Commerce, NACC, the African American International Chamber of Commerce, AAICC, and the Hispanic American International Chamber of Commerce, HAICC, offers the best online paralegal studies program. The competitive tuition rate, coupled with the impeccable reputation of the coalition, makes this an obvious choice for anyone serious about their education. This is a program of the highest standard. Additional certificates include LexisNexis and Clio. We also use Cali, which is what is used in law schools. What are the requirements? To be admitted to the Chamber's Paralegal Certificate Program, you must be at least 18 years old, read and write English at a proficiency level, have strong computer skills, and have a high school diploma. If these qualifications fit you, you can continue the admission process. Applications are accepted online anytime during the year. A mandatory orientation describes your upcoming classes, guidelines, and expectations. The tuition for this respected program is very competitive with other online paralegal degrees. It costs less than $1,000 for the entire program. The average student can finish the program in anywhere from 6 to 12 months. Books are extra and will run around a few $100s for everything. If you want the best paralegal online program at the best price, the Chamber Coalition Paralegal Certificate Program is the answer. The program is excellent for aspiring and current paralegals, individuals who plan to attend law school, community advocates, persons who want to understand the law and their rights, and prospective political candidates. Is being a paralegal worth it? Yes. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a 10% job growth between now and 2029. The median salary nationwide in 2019 was $51,740, and the average mean wage was $61,810. It truly is a prestigious and significant profession. Simply put, paralegals help people. They help their employers be more efficient in their jobs, increase a firm's revenue and productivity, and help the clients. A career as a paralegal can be rewarding professionally and personally, and offers a unique opportunity to help others. Options vary depending on the paralegal's practice area. New York is the state with the second largest employment of paralegals and legal assistants in the country, given New York City's occasional designation as the capital of the world and close proximity to Washington, D.C., the hub of federal government and law. As one of the biggest global hubs of finance, media, and culture, jobs in the legal realm are bound to follow. Most states do not have any certification or licensure requirements to be a paralegal, and New York is no exception. By graduating from this program, you can market yourself as a virtual paralegal for attorneys and law firms in New York State. There is a one-time fee of $550. Are you excited to learn more? Register for an orientation at www.freeparalegal.org. That's www.freeparalegal.org.
Thank you for listening to Ask the Lawyer International Edition with attorney Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates in New York. We hope you enjoyed the show, which featured immigration visitors visa, starting and doing business in New York, entertainment and business visas, religious visas, and much more. Whether you are outside the U.S. or have family in New York, the number to call, share, and keep is 855-768-8845. That's 888-768-8845. Please schedule a consultation with us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. This is Ask the Lawyer, International Edition. You have questions? We've got the answers.